Man, listen, we back again. It's free game.
Free game, man.
GIM.
Devil Fusco in
Man.
the building, man.
Yeah.
Always call control.
The Devil Fusco in the building.
Yeah. I'm going live on my Instagram.
So we got an interesting topic
You do.
tonight, courtesy of Miss Kimberly Green.
Tag my girl. You know what I'm saying?
She posted the other day, and we decided we're gonna expound on it. We're gonna build on this. I ain't put a disclaimer up. Just remember, I said we don't have all the answers. We don't know all the answers, but we're gonna convene the conversation to get some answers.
Say that again, because some people ain't gonna hear you. Because there's gonna be somebody gonna skip that. Say it one
Somebody gonna miss it.
We don't know all the answers.
Claiming.
And we don't have all the answers.
Trey got all the answers though.
But we're gonna convene the conversation to get some answers. So the post was most men can't love a woman or don't know how to love a woman because they never seen a man love their mother. Paraphrasing. So I'm gonna go with Med, man. I want you to expound on that first. Give me your viewpoint.
Alright, well, my viewpoint's gonna come from seeing a man, well actually two men love a woman. Of course my grandfather and my grandmother was together for forever, so I don't know exactly the number of years, but it's good 50, you know what I mean? So they were together to the end, to the very end. So me seeing that, that's hard to say, man, because my uncles married too. So I'm gonna go with, as far as what I seen personally, it could be true, and maybe it can't be true, but for me it could be true because my grandfather was together and my grandma was together for a long time. My uncle got married. My uncle still married. My other uncle passed away, but he was married. You know what I mean? So it seemed like it fall in order. And then my mom and my dad was together for 35, 36 years to the end.
To the side.
And then I got a brother that's married now. You see what I'm saying? So as far as experience, I'm gonna go with yeah from what I seen.
So you feel like, so what you saying is, paraphrasing, check me if I'm wrong. So you saying it's necessary, it's essential for us, a young man, to experience seeing another man love his mother to be able to love a woman himself.
I ain't gonna say to be able to, but yeah, like as far as I think you got a better shot. Someone showing you, then you trying to figure it out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got cousins and partners and stuff who dad don't want around, and it ain't got the same outcome. So I'm not saying that's the reason, but you get what I'm going, like kind of stand in the middle with it. So I think it helped. I don't think nothing perfect because people that got parents who still know how to treat a woman. So, I ain't gonna say that's the blueprint, but it do help when you got a guideline from somebody who really doing it. You know what I mean? Like, cause you got some men that's say married or whatever, but then you get older and realize they want to work for down to their wife. You know what I mean? I done seen that. When you a kid, you think, oh man, they together. Like the whole time he was doing it later on for hundreds of years. So you get older and realize, damn, Mr. Sutter stayed in the door to me, really a sucker. Now you ain't gonna say that as a child or when you get up in age, cause that's your elder. But when you realize as a man, like damn, he was married to her, he was doing it wrong forever. You know what I mean? But they was married, so it's like it's a lot of stuff going into that though. So
a lot of different variables out there.
Yeah, it ain't easy to look. You know what I'm saying?
All right, special guest, Devil, what you think?
Devil Fusco in the building.
No, I'm gonna let Beloved expound first.
Yeah, man, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him come up there.
Good rebuttal. I like that.
He gon' let.
I already said that though.
Yeah.
He passing the ball.
He rebutted to you. He got you this time.
He gon' let me.
I'd rather hear what the God got to say first.
All right, so before you expound, Beloved, paraphrasing again, you said the post said most, but in your view, you say you feel like that is a
cop out.
Yeah, I say the reason why I say it's a cop out because it says most men, what is that? Most men what?
Most men don't know how to love a woman because they never seen a man love them.
Love their mom. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, the reason why I say it's a cop out because I ain't had, you know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't never saw no man love my mama except me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Like, the reason why I say it's a cop out because, like, you gotta. At some point in time, even if you do like Ned said, you had somebody that was deaf, you still got to kind of figure it out on your own, like
Trial and error.
yeah, how you gonna make it happen. So it's still kind of difficult to say that like that's the end. Like most men don't know how to love no woman. You know what I mean? Yeah, cause what type of woman you meet is gonna determine how you love her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, it's gonna determine that according to, you know, cause you know it's men that, like he said, it's men that had their daddy that don't know how to love no women. Then you got people like me, I ain't had no daddy, but I love my daughters, I love my wife. You know what I mean? So I ain't never put my hands on I ain't never beat my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Ever. So think about that. Like I guess I felt like it was I was a little bit too strong being girls. You know what I'm saying? Like I had like a phobia for hitting women. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't see myself hitting a woman. Them my children.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Like y'all talk when it comes to discipline, girls. I kind of let my wife kind of.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you basically turned your not having it into the reason you are.
That's right.
That's why I'm saying so he can go both ways.
Yeah.
Things depend on the person.
So I kind of feel like the reason why I say it's a cop out because you decide how you gonna move in this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether or not we all got all type of strikes against us, and we had all kind of odds. All of us with that one sperm, you know what I'm saying, that swam upstream.
So Chill Will.
And
Hey Doc, I didn't know you. What's going on?
And made it to the top. We all was that one sperm, you know what I'm saying? So in that sense, like we all had some adversity. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you manage to cause I done seen some hardcore gangsters love their girls to life. Like I don't care about none of that what you talking about. You feel me? And I done seen some creeps don't care about their girl. You see what I'm saying? So you'll think of, I seen people that was acting like they don't care about them girls outside, but when they go home, they're a different person. So you know, it's how you play it, man. That's how I feel. Like you really have to play that according to what type of person you is.
Right.
What you say though?
All right, Devil.
Let Devil go last. My boy say he wanna go last. What you say?
What I say, it's several different ways.
What happened?
It's several different scenarios we can go with this conversation.
Rachel, what's up, baby?
In straightforward, like I said, you could have a male figure in your life, and he could abuse the woman that he's with.
Yep.
So even though the man is present, he can abuse a woman. This is why I say this. We always talk about the youth, and you always talk about the root, you know, the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So me as a child, if I'm seeing this man, as you said as a cop, if I'm seeing this man verbally abuse this woman and physically abuse this woman, I can pick that up.
I think it's cool.
I can very easily pick that up.
That's right.
Or, on the contrary, I can also say,
I don't oppose that.
I don't want to do that.
I'm not gonna do my own. Like, that's you know what I'm saying? That's not what's going on. And we always talk about trauma and things like that. Then some men are bitter to not receiving that type of love from whether it's a father or mother. You know what I'm saying? saying? Some men they in foster care, some kids they they grew up in the struggle, so they didn't get that love, so they they battling what they battling, so that can also be a reason.
Yeah. What that movie was? Y'all saw that movie with Mos Def when he pushed the dude on the train and on the prison?
Yeah, you talking about with Q-Tip?
Yeah.
And Mary J. Blige, you know?
Yeah.
J.
She
Blige.
Was it the prison song?
Prison song.
Prison song, yeah. You think
That's
about
a
that
prime
movie,
example,
yeah. You think about that movie, and he went through all those foster cares and all that stuff,
And right back into one mistake, landing right back in the home system.
So like it kind of like.
So to finish my point, then I also agree, then it could just be a choice. You could choose the person you are. You could choose whether or not you're gonna love this woman, do right by this woman, or choose to do these things. So I think it's several different scenarios. I think the foundation, I think it has an impact. Cause what if, man, you always talk about your pops a lot. What if your pops told you straight up, never trust a woman?
And I mean,
And your pops' words, so how can you love somebody you don't trust?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So, you see what I'm saying? And then some, okay, we got these stigmatism attached to us as well. Women say all men are dogs. So you hear that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So what if let's say a mother of a young lady, she tell her daughter, based on what she went through, hey, you should never trust a man. All men are dogs.
A lot of them be told that though.
And this man come in your life, you can't love this man just based on solely what you've been told by your mom. Just stuck with you throughout your life. So it's hard for you to love. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say it's several different scenarios and angles when I think about the whole conversation. That's part of my spiel. What you got, Devin?
Just listening to everything that everybody was saying, I personally speak directly to what the post said. You feel me? As far as for me, and it's about love. So what is love? Like how do you know how to give love or show love? You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like if I'm close to someone, I love you the same as I would love my wife, or as I love my children. I just love my wife and children differently. You see what I'm saying? But if I love you, and I didn't see that growing up as far as like with my father. You feel what I mean? Like in the earlier stages, of him and my mother. You feel me? Like I remember one time, my daddy was a jokester, and I know sometimes he probably would do like somewhat not funny but cruel things, right? But it was I want to say it was Mother's Day or something. I remember my mom running to the couch. She jumped on the couch. She covered her face. But my pops had flowers in his hand. He was bringing them to her, and I was just so excited to see that. Like I was just like, Mama, look. But when I thought back in hindsight, that's like the only time I ever, my mother didn't even realize. Like she keep telling him like, take it on. I'm like, nah, Mama, look. I'm just excited as a kid to see that, but she didn't receive that. So that's one of the only times, as far as when my father was with my mother, that I ever would have seen something like that. Now later on, it was different. When he was remarried or whatever. Because he was a different person. And I think it becomes the person. So everything I learned from love, as far as what I think of love, is I had 3 grandmothers and a mother. You understand what I'm saying? Most people don't have their grandmama, their great grandmother, and their great great grandmother. I had all 3 of these women up until I was 20 years old. So it was like a gentle side that I had to learn from having to deal with women all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I was around women. I watched their movements. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not gonna say, because as you spoke and said somebody could put something into someone and then have them like, how can I love someone if I can't trust them? But what if someone puts that into you and they tell you to love and trust, and you still break that on a person? You see what I'm saying? Because guess what? It was a choice that you made. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Because somebody could still instill into you what you shouldn't do to someone, how you shouldn't do to something to someone, and you could still miss the mark on that. You know, so I don't think that because what a man didn't see, it determines how he loves a woman. You know what I mean? Because you have to determine what love was put into that man. You feel what I'm saying? You have to determine what, you know, what was around him, what he seen. You know, I think what builds a man and his character, especially when it comes to a woman, is most of the time what he's seen from another woman. I'm just being real, like, you know, and I seen different things from like my grandmother was an amputee. She stood 4 foot nothing. She was like a giant. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she was a real giant. Like, she stood amongst men, and you know, she was very articulate in her words and very smart and all these things. You feel what I'm saying? She, you know, she spoke. She was a person that read the encyclopedia and understood the Bible and was very spiritual and all these things. Like, I couldn't just come half-stepping and couldn't just be talking no bullshit when I was talking to this woman. You feel me? So those are the type of things around. When I was a kid, I was at union meetings. You understand what I'm saying? And I was the only kid there.
Let me interject real quick. Let me ask you a question. A very important question. I don't mind as you speaking. You have a lot of women that you were around as a child and still now is very importantly, like, played a major role in your development.
Very much so.
Let me ask you this. Based on the love that those women gave you and what they taught you coming up, showed you, you know, they say you was spoiled, but you was bad. You say you wasn't spoiled, but they say you was bad. You know, we always laugh about that on the family come out.
Right.
Do you think that had an impact on how you feel about women? What the women, in your life showed you coming up? Because we talking about the men. Now there's somebody that's around like a bunch of women. You got grandma, you got auntie, three grandmas, mama. Yeah. I know all of them. So, and you have a different relationship with all of them. So, expound on how those women probably had an impact on the way you go about loving the woman in your life.
Exactly like I said. Seeing the things that my mother's mother did. Knowing that my grandma Liz, I think, was like one of the first black women to have a beauty salon in Castle Park. You understand what I'm saying? My Aunt Minnie, you feel me? Like, she opened her, like, when my father made the transition to come in my life, it was because of her that I was able to make the transition.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Without her in play, none of this happens. She bought all my school clothes. Me and my father stayed in we slept in the same bed together in her house. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it was because of her that I was able to even get here. You know what I mean? She the one made me see how my father loved me. Like, do you know what your father did? Do you know, she never spoke down. Like, I never was around women that spoke negative about a man. I'm gonna say that again. I was never around women that really spoke negative about a man. See, most people be around men that speak negatively about men. Everything I learned about my father, I learned from him. My mother never said anything bad. So when my father came back in my life completely, he sat me down and told me everything.
Told you the truth.
He told me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
She never said anything negative about him. I learned everything from him. So I never really heard women speak negatively about a man. I learned firsthand with anything I dealt with. You see what I'm saying? I learned firsthand with anything I dealt with. So I always felt like, you know, and don't get me wrong, I don't miss the marker. You know, because the choices I made, you know what I'm saying? The choices I made, that ain't come from the learning. Right. That came from the choices I made. Mm-hmm. That's the understanding that I have now. See, yeah, when I came off the rock, it was because I made those choices. But what I seen and the love I had, I should know exactly how to love a woman if you want to be exact and that technical. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I know exactly how to love a woman. But yeah, guess what? Temptation. when you fall off your rock or when you get off your square.
It's real.
It's real, you know what I'm saying? You know, and sometimes you lose that fight. And I guess what I done lost on a personal level. But because my father didn't necessarily show me that. To answer that question, my father, I didn't necessarily show me that. I learned that from a woman, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Then later on, he made me understand. He taught me the principles behind things. He taught me what a woman couldn't teach. He taught me the principles. So all my principles came from my father, in which I stand upon. You see what I'm saying? I understood it from that point. They gave me the love, and then he made me understand from where he made mistakes. I'm telling you, man, my pops told me clearly out of his mouth, my mother leaving him and his grandmother dying was the best thing in his life, and it threw me off. It threw me off, and I couldn't understand that.
I was just finna ask you that.
I said, I couldn't understand. What you mean? He was like, because I would have never grew.
Yeah.
I would have never grew up. You know, so the two most important women in his life had to leave in order for him to be the man he became.
I kind of explained that before, but that's
And,
crazy.
and rest in peace to Welton Frazier, because he was a great man that did a whole lot of great things in a lot of people's life. And I'm here to tell that. That's the truth. If you don't know that, you know, for whoever listening and know that and is in tune to who I am and know who my father is, you know, that was some of the realest shit realest thing he ever said to me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Realest thing he ever said to me, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that I didn't understand. That my mother leaving him and his grandmother dying, you know, was the best thing that ever happened to him, because that was the only way he was able to live and understand and move, you know what I mean? Because they spoiled him. They had him in a bubble, he felt. You feel what I'm saying? And he had to learn how to be a man and stand on his own too. And I just respected that. You know, I respected that to the utmost. So
Yeah, so I think coming from like, just to get you back on like what you were saying about learning how to treat women by learning from women. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I ain't really. I had my mama and my grandma. You feel me? In my life, so of course I couldn't, and you couldn't. It was impossible, man, for somebody to mistreat my mom in my presence. Like, I don't care who you was, you know what I mean? And so I think I developed that type of relationship for the woman, you know, just dealing with my mom and my grandma. But my daughter had said, Rachel, she said that she think having a man in the house is definitely a good thing. As men ourselves, we choose who and how we want to be on our own. And sometimes having a man in the house is not enough. So I said, I pinned that was a good spiel on Rachel.
I agree. Cause just think about the twin interview.
Mm-hmm.
When he was talking about his previous 2 marriages, he said
They taught him a lot.
He said it was 2 good women.
Right.
He said there was 2 good women. He said I don't lie. He said I have a good relationship with them. I respect them. They were 2 good women. He said it was my fault. He said it was my fault. He said in the marriage that I am in now,
Different person.
I don't want to do what I did in my previous 2 marriages. So he's going a different route based on, like we say, trial and error, based on the experience or the choice of being ready. Okay, now I don't want to 2 instances where I just messed up. You know, I'm tired of messing up.
Right.
I got this one, I'm gonna do right by this one. So I definitely agree kind of what Devil was saying.
And that's crazy
It's
because
a choice.
And the thing about, like, I always say something crazy. My wife be mad at me when I talk about this, but like, it be difficult for people, for me personally, even though I know that somebody may have experienced a lot more stuff than I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, twin. I always reference like Steve Harvey, like, nigga been married 4 times or something. Like, I be like, what the hell you gonna? I've been married 1 time. Like, how
And
you
he
gonna-
wrote the book.
Yeah, how you gonna tell me how?
Think like a man.
You married 4 times. What you talking about? Like, it took you 4 times to get it right. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of find like that's kind of difficult.
That's
you
a
know?
cliche.
Yeah. So even with twin having to do it 3 times to figure it out, you know, I could probably, I got a lot more respect for Twin than I do for Steve Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Cause I fool with Twin. You feel me?
Right.
But Twin ain't out here trying to like. He just living. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out here giving no advice. Or he telling no woman to think like no man. And,
But see,
yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna speak on that because like I've been feeling like that. Like when he said that to me, it was like, and a lot of people don't read between the line. It was, I mean, I guess a lot of women gonna be like, probably be bad saying it.
Self in trouble, man.
No, I'm just about, man, you know, I'm raw, man. But he, that's easy for him to catch attention. Like anytime you get on here and you feel like, I don't say bashing men, but you bigging up women, cause like notice throughout the whole think like a man, act like a woman stuff, all he did was just give. He was, I ain't gonna say he was dying a man, but he was telling women, you know, about
sharing the playbook, like
type of man.
playbook.
But the thing about it was you wasn't being fair on both sides.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get any woman gonna support that when you. He's like, oh yeah, all women rule, and men you just bury him in the ground. Of course, it's big on the other person, but you never once wrote the opposite or said nothing about the opposite way around. It go both ways. You got women that do men like that all the time.
Right.
But that was easy for him to say. So him saying that, of course, it was gonna tell him go crazy.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I thought what you thought, the same thing. Like I go back, I'm a logical person. I make this analogy all the time, but like if I want to learn how to drive trucks, I'm not gonna talk to a pilot, bro. I'm not. So like him right now, but nobody stopped to think like what you said. He been married 4 times. Like that's the person you gonna take advice from. It's just like some of these women, you would take all the advice in the world from a girl who ain't got no man or can't keep a man. They're the ones y'all listen to though.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to me, but it's easier to get a person on your side when I'm doing like, hey, just come on with me. If I tell you what you want to hear, and if you're not a logical person, you'll come with me. Not knowing that it's no logic in that. Like I follow certifications. I believe in guidelines. I don't care who I'm listening to, what advice I'm taking it from. It got to be hands-on, authentic for what it is. If you never done it, you're not the person I'm following. Now you might leave me to the person who know what they're doing, but you ain't gonna be the one to tell me nothing. And that ain't just being arrogant, that's just being common sense. So when he wrote that book, I thought the same thing, just never said it, but like, this is a guy that can't keep a woman. And this the one y'all listen to though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Crazy, not to cut your wisdom, but it's crazy because, you know, I'm a reader, so I be trying to get my wife to read, right? And it was like a struggle in order for me to get her to read. But she said, if you want me to read, get me that Steve Harvey book. So I went and bought her the book. Like, go ahead. You feel? I don't care nothing about what he's saying. Yeah. If it's gonna make you goddamn read it,
right?
Then read it. You feel me? So I went and bought her the book just so that we can be reading together. You know what I'm saying? Cause I don't care what he's saying. He ain't gonna affect nothing I got going on over here. You know what I mean? But just the fact that after she read it, and I ain't read it, of course. I skimmed through it. You know, I was like, man, get out of here, man. You out here trying to goddamn expose. You know what I mean? People still playing the game. Tell them like it's like when I don't know if people, you know, y'all might be some Jeezy fans or something, but when Jeezy first came out, I used to feel like, man, dude, you're tripping, man. Like, you really be telling, like, what's going on? Like, on the mic, like, you really telling, like, spots and all that. Like, you saying it on the radio. Like, what is you talking about? You feel me? Like, if people still doing that. So you can't be getting on the radio saying it. You feel me? Like, I was like, man, you know, you going too fast, bro. You just, cause you out. That don't mean everybody else. Yeah, people still were making these moves and putting stuff where you were saying you were putting it at. So that's what made me not be able to fool with a cat like him. You know what I mean? Everybody love him. Man, like, how you like him? He telling, like, he really saying the stuff for real. Like, and if you was in the game, he's saying.
Go back to what we talk about all the time, though, it's like everybody raised with different morals. See, like, you know what I'm saying? I like some of the music, but I get what you're saying. It's like, certain morals won't allow me to say certain stuff on this podcast.
Right.
Not that I can't, but I was taught with going in his house. Like, to me, that's a form of rap.
Yeah.
Now, everybody don't look at it that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's my truth. I'm like, yeah, but telling is telling. Certain stuff I was taught you can do more about silence than you can ever do by talking. My dad just put that in my head all the time. That's why a lot of stuff, some stuff is better off not being addressed. You say more about not talking than talking sometimes. But everybody don't have that concept. Some people think they gotta have the attention by, they gotta be the loud one, they gotta voice their opinion. like that picture we was talking about with the I don't know if he was here. We was talking about with the animal, with the head like the lion, the tiger, the zebra. And I was racing,
Oh, yeah,
and the cheetah sitting in the middle, but the cheetah the only one didn't get up, and he was like, some stuff was just pointless. But the picture was so dope to me, like, damn, the cheetah know you can outrun all of them, so why am I racing you for? Now y'all don't know that, but that's beating a dead horse. That cheetah get up and race one of y'all. He
Right.
sat there the whole time. They took off. He just sat there.
Like a fool trying to race them. Like,
Yeah, so I get what you're saying on that. You know what I mean? Like, even when you telling your truth, is, you know, like if you're doing something with somebody else is still in the game, you can't hang people like that. But that also goes to show you how selfish people is. Like, and there's no disrespect to Steve Harvey, but like when I first heard it, I'm like the fact that just listen to the concept of that. What it was, what's it called? Think like a man, or what?
act like a man.
What's the
Act like one, think like a man.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Logically, you can't think like a man. You don't have the genetics to think like a man. Just like vice versa, I can't think like no woman. I don't have a period. You know what I'm saying? But like, people don't think that far. Like, just the concept of hearing that, he knew it was gonna sell. So I gotta give him credit for it. Very strategic.
That was a good marketing.
Yeah. But that's where we live. And people that teach us, man, is very short nowadays.
Yeah.
So with him giving woman that game,
Right.
she felt like he was giving game. Remember what I said earlier? Somebody can put something in your head, and you take that book and you apply it to your relationship and cause problems. You see what I'm saying?
It don't fit everybody.
Because he said in this book. So now you watching what your partner is doing because Steve Harvey said it, and you probably ain't even telling your partner you watching in secrecy, but you looking for these signs. You just read this book.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. When I was talking about earlier, how somebody can impose something on you. Yeah, like Devil said, it is a choice. But you always had that voice in the back of your head. So Mama said this.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy said this. Steve Harvey said this.
Yeah.
So this means this. I'm connecting dots right now. Since he's doing that, this automatically means this because I'm on page 51 and Steve Harvey said it and I know it's right. I'm saying, like, I mean, y'all laughing, but I'm saying, like, I'm dead serious. Like, people can put something in someone's head and they can feel like that's what it is. That's the truth.
Right.
Not using your own analogy,
Not use your own
methods.
mind frame.
Yeah, because everybody walk is different. What may work for you may not work for CR, may not work for every man, or vice versa. But that's a good point. It was right back to what Bill said. Like, everything is a choice. No choice is easy. I feel like everybody do have a choice, but I feel like your choices you make is, I ain't gonna say, certain stuff can change your decision making.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean?
God chimed in with a paragraph.
So,
Race
but
did too.
Y'all bear with me, okay? Dr. D said, I grew up with boy cousins, so I was able to see firsthand how to think like a man. And I read the Steve Harvey books. I was able to recognize the lies that were told by listening to the lies my cousin told their women. I like him. He drops knowledge differently than most men. I looked at the books as though he was sharing from a place of experiences, not just his. I look at the pros and cons.
Yeah, and Rachel said, I don't think he was teaching women to hate men. Nobody said that.
we didn't say
I
that.
think he was teaching them how to become who they need to become in order to attract what they needed in a man. I agree with that.
Let's talk about the other side of this now.
I was definitely
He
saying,
has-
I'm the devil, because he like got someone to
Hold
say.
on. Hold on, let's talk about the other side of this.
Yeah.
This coming from a man with daughters now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we talking about how he wrote the book and we're saying he kind of. I agree when you said I think he should have wrote another one. So it won't be
His wife wrote the book though. Nobody don't talk about that. You ain't read that, dog?
See, this is,
His
and,
wife wrote the book.
and not even to get on that, like, see, I don't
Did y'all
think,
read that?
yeah, I'm not saying he hate man they gave it women. What I'm saying is, it's kind of like for me, when you say you gonna, it's like when you telling one side of something, don't just tell, if you're gonna stand for something, then say both sides. Don't tell one side to make it look glorified so you can look better. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, why you don't write a book on the other half of like you was just saying, even though it's white wrote it, if you're gonna write that, then you gotta write the other one too.
So you say come across as biased toward a
I mean, but it's easy for you to sell that way because you're already catering to the women. So of course they gonna want to hear it because that's who you're catering to.
Yeah.
Not saying you're wrong for that, but okay, where's the other flip side of
I know
tell
you're
the men
wrong.
about the women?
She said, hold on, man. She said, what's the name of it? Didn't know she wrote.
I don't know. I saw it though. I don't remember, but yeah, she definitely. His first wife wrote a book. I don't remember what it was. It's been so long ago. I ain't read it, but of course I wasn't even involved in that.
It's about relationship.
Yeah, it was about him and her relationship.
Oh.
It was about his and her. She had came on somebody's podcast and she was talking about it, and I heard it through there, but I wasn't no interested in reading his book nor her book. So
I want to hear my boy gotta say.
yeah.
So let me ask y'all this. So from a man coming from a broken place, he don't have love around him. I know he says it's a choice. Is he able to love?
Say that again.
I'm coming from a broken place. Like we talk about devil. We talk about how he had so many women in his life. Show him how to treat a woman. You had your mom and your grandmother. I had my mother and my aunties.
So you had some examples. We had all that.
You had mother and father in your household. The person that doesn't have that,
That's a good
he
point.
be that one that learned from trial and error. Okay, is he able to love?
That's a good question. So I mean, but nobody
I
asked
can't
him
really
question.
speak on that.
In my opinion, I feel like the question you just asked is what I'm saying. Like when you go into a topic like that, you have to consider. I mean, okay, he wrote a book, but you never been that little boy that's going through that. Then is his book speaking for that dude and that man too? Because it's easy to say what a man should do when every man got different shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what we're talking about. Everybody ain't raised the same way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through the same stuff. I got partners who grew up foster homes that never had no love in their life. So does that mean they don't want to treat a woman right? People make it seem like your choice is just so simple because like it's left and right. Your circumstances and trials and errors you go through shape your choices. Like
my point to ask the
you know
question.
what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying.
You gotta bridge it somehow. You gotta have some kind of objectivity, even though we all agree it's a choice. But I do think circumstances cause people to react a certain type of way. Sometimes you have men they just leaning on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
You was
When they be saying it's tax time, y'all better get y'all one. Like I'm serious. So sometimes you got some men just lean on a woman, like they have the intentions to use the woman.
Yeah, that's a different situation.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, are the circumstances there because it's because of their circumstance, which I know is not all the time, but if I don't got love around me, but I like women, I'm looking to use this woman just based on my circumstances.
You mean like how you was raised?
In general,
I feel like being sorry and not knowing is two different things.
I don't like speaking name, but take Mike Tyson for instance.
That's a good example.
Take Mike Tyson for instance, and you know what he went through with Robin Givens. She was like, he's a monster. His circumstances, he was giving away. Then he got with Customato. They raised him to be a fighter. But I would think in his situation,
That's a little ears. Go ahead.
I don't know if he had that proper guidance. What you think about that?
In Mike Tyson situation,
Mike Tyson.
with Robin Gibbons,
Well, I would say in general, he got charged with, he allegedly,
beating
a woman, raping a woman, whatever his charges was for him getting locked up. Yeah. His situation.
that's I don't know. Like I can't really say like Mike had a traumatizing life though.
That's what I'm saying.
But it don't make it right. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
He done been, you know, I know he said he was accused of raping somebody and all that, and Robin Gibbons was saying he was beating her and all that. But like I think, you know, Mike was an animal before he met her. So coming into the situation, like what was Robin mentality? She think she can tame the beast? Like that man was he been, everybody know his story before. You know what I'm saying? Like he been all his life. Like he been.
That's why he fight.
Yeah,
That's
like
why he
this how he
He
moves.
carrying. That's what I'm saying. This is a man that's carrying probably a lot of pain, and he's letting it out through boxing.
Yeah, how you tame that?
Exactly.
Like that's
I
like
would say she don't trigger how he was raised.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing. Like, a woman know what button to mash with a man. So, like, and then once you mash that button, like, somebody like Mike who ain't got no control, like, you can't, like, what
Step
you
up
expect?
back.
Like, he can probably thump you and knock you out. You know what I'm saying? So, imagine that. Like, especially a woman. You know what I'm saying? So,
She could have played on his vulnerability.
yeah,
like,
so he probably mentally impaired. Like, you know, nowadays you can use mental health as a cop out. Like everybody using it, but back then Mike didn't get that luxury. Mike was mentally jacked up.
and look how he raised. Nobody. You talking about that boy? That dude from Brooklyn, man.
Yeah, man, I'm coming
Like, he
here
from
playing
no
with
family,
others
no
and all
nothing.
that. So yeah, it's really that's a hard situation to be in, especially coming from a Mike Tyson type situation. But all of us got some traumatizing situation in our life that we can probably relate to that, but we ain't you know, people don't label us as animals and beasts like they did with Mike, but we still got those same kind of tendencies. You know what I'm saying? Like you can at any given time you can blow. I might have took mine out on somebody outside. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might be pissed off at my wife and go to the court. Just the hoop and
Somebody say something.
and you just take off with it. And you ain't want even about that. So you know that man, it's real like sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to put that like in context because we all experience stuff different. Like I don't know if we need Doc to talk about that.
Doc said, don't get me wrong, there are toxic mothers and women out there also. And I would share with men who deal with toxic women to leave also. Eric Howard said, celebrities live in a different reality than us. Life experiences are your best teacher.
He wasn't always a celebrity.
Don't take everyone's advice.
You feel me? He's a regular person at first. His life became.
I think he talking about. I think he was talking about the Steve Harvey situation.
He wasn't always a celebrity either. So yeah, they might don't, but they some of their shortcomings came before they celebrity.
They human.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So, yeah, they.
But I do
always
agree with him.
celebrity.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting advice, but to what Eric's saying, that's why I said I agree. Like, you know, I think a lot of times we expound too much on somebody else's walk of life and try to put ourselves in. It's only so much it's so much of your journey I'm gonna take from. Don't mean your journey ain't real, but your journey ain't my journey.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna take everything he went through and be like, that's gonna be no. So I agree with what he's saying. Like, I go through my own trials and tribulation. Now I go to somebody and get advice, but I'm only gonna get advice to a certain extent because at some point I made trial and tribulation and errors. No advice gonna be able to do that. I gotta go through that regardless, no matter who I talk to. I set the man above, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with that, like, but sometimes we just take.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like even in fighting, you know what I mean. Me and Trey, we be messing around with the fight game. We do all different types of art, not just boxing, but we mess with all types of art. And even in fighting, you have to, if you're gonna be a good fighter, you're gonna have to take what you can take from certain people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't no Floyd Mayweather fan.
Yeah.
You feel me? But to be completely honest, like he probably was the smartest
Defensive.
fighter out there. Like, you know what I mean? Cause he didn't take a lot of beating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Ali's and the Sugar Ray Leonard,
Oh,
the Ray
different.
Robinson, they took them competing.
He talk about that.
Yeah, so he was able to manage his career different. So even being a student of the art, right? You would take stuff from people all the way through just to put together whatever it is that you trying to build.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I steal techniques from everybody, and even people that, you know, I may say I don't like, you know, for any other reason. I don't know him personally, so I can't say I don't like him personally.
They
But
start.
I don't like his, you know what I mean, his politics or whatever.
What he represent.
Yeah, so, but as a fighter, he's probably one of the greatest fighters ever. You know what I'm saying? And I respect him as a fighter. So that's what I do is if he got something that I can use, I take it. So all the way through life, you're going to entertain situations. Like I done heard Steve Harvey say some good stuff.
Yep.
You know, and I might don't repeat it, you know what I'm saying, but somebody might have received it, you know what I'm saying? I seen him do motivational videos and all that, and he had some good points on his videos, and I be like, dang, that's pretty interesting, and coming from him, I ain't expect it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But, you know, that it's like, you just pick your poison, you know what I mean? Well, however you gonna move throughout life, you just got to, you know, pick who you gonna pick stuff from and
What
walk
you
away
make.
from walk away from what you don't need, man. But everybody ain't gonna you know, be like who you want them to be. Like some people just gonna like Steve Harvey don't care nothing about my opinion. But I can say what I wanna say. You know what I mean? Like whatever I feel. If I felt like that was something that I said that. You feel me? Like that was my opinion. Everybody who read the book, even the dog, Eric, all them who saying celebrity life different, I don't care, but that's who everybody put in front of us. Celebrity lifestyle. So when they saying something that's powerful, you can receive it. If I feel like I heard something that powerful that was negative, I can't receive that. Like what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And it's okay for me to say Jesus was talking about the spots, right? But you have to be a real person out here really doing that to understand
What
why
he's
that
saying.
wasn't cool. Like, bro, what is you talking about?
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm riding down the street
And you tell
and I
them.
got something in these spots that you rapping about.
Yeah.
So you don't think somebody else?
So even though he telling the truth, you still being selfish at a point.
That's right.
So in order to get your notoriety up, you putting other people on the fire.
That's right. And you don't care nothing about me though. You know what
And
I
I'm
mean?
still out here,
I'm
but you
still
ain't
out
out here.
here, but you gone. Yeah. So ain't no use you know using.
Don't tell all my rivers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta water that down. I see what you're saying.
Eric said, millionaires write books every day. If it was that easy, then everyone would be a lot more millionaires. Life is not easy, and neither is relationships.
I agree.
It was a job. You said something, Tim. When
More than millionaires write books every day. My daughter wrote 2 books. She ain't no millionaire.
Everybody got their own opinion.
That's
So, I
right.
mean,
Everybody.
you don't have
write
to mean to
books.
write a book. He is just gonna get more attention because he is a millionaire.
Yeah, he gonna get the
The
show
line.
because he a millionaire.
But his, like I was saying, his premise could be, you know, critique like anybody else. Just because he's a millionaire,
A millionaire writes
Don't-
something that you want to hear.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's coming from that person.
So you gonna buy it.
That's why I say the whole title of the book, nobody said nothing about it. And if you do, it make you sound like, oh my God, you know, no. But I got a mind of my own. Like I might have a, like what about? Like I say what I say. Like nobody, you know, most people in the world that thought like that. When I first heard the title, that just kind of, it ain't tripping me.
How
It
do
was
you
just
do
like,
that? You feel
I'm
me?
like, so nobody see nothing, no question about the title.
Yeah. So how do you be a man that have to navigate your way through life loving a woman that you ain't never seen in your house? Like your mama, you feel me? Ain't nobody loving your mama like everybody expect you to love outside. So what you do? Like how you manage that? Like
You have to learn,
You gotta
like-
be the person that you gonna be.
Yep.
Like for instance, it's a lot of people had parents that couldn't read.
Yeah.
That didn't make you didn't want to go read.
Yeah.
Right? You had to go learn how to read. So you can bring my neighbor, Mr. Ernest, who stayed next door to me, was 82 years old when he checked out. Right? I've been here with my neighbor for 21 years. Right? But when he told me he couldn't read, I was like, dang, that's crazy, Mr. Ernest. You know what I mean? So I said, so me and him started.
Reading.
I started helping him learn how to read. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just hitting him with the, and he got a video that my baby got when he first read. He said my baby book was the first book he ever read besides the Bible, front to back. But he ain't know how to read though. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? But what if we, you know, just leave it at that though? Like, if we don't know how to love no woman, like, what if we just leave it like that?
And a lot of cats do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you got people like us that we can only speak for what we talking about, right? I can't speak for the man that don't love his wife. I can offer an opinion,
Yep.
right? But what if everybody knew or really loved their women? The most honorable Muhammad said no nation can rise as high as his woman. So what if everybody loved women? Right? If she uplifted, we uplifted. Right? Because that's how they get here, right?
And we are living.
That's right. That's how we get here. She got to carry that baby for 9 months. So what she dealing with through that time? Is she being loved? Is she being neglected? All that's going into that seed.
Yeah, so it's an embryo, of course.
Yeah. So all that's being fed to that baby.
Foundation star inside his stomach.
So we don't know. Like I said, on the post, I still think it's a cop out because I ain't grow up in no house with no man. Love my mom, wasn't no man in the house with my mom. You know what I'm saying? It was just us. So with I learned like Trey did. I learned how to love my mama from my mama. I learned how to love women from the experience that I got from my mama. Like I ain't really had no man to tell me, but look here, this how you have to holler at your girl. You know what I'm saying? You can't be all aggressive and all that. You feel me? Yeah. Cause what we were hearing on the street, that ain't what
Yeah, no.
that ain't what you were hearing.
Yeah.
You feel me?
But see, that love that you had for your mama, you knew you could love another woman as a companion. Because you was like, from our conversation, you was like protector. So you love her that much, you wasn't going to let nobody breathe on her wrong.
Alright.
You see what I'm saying? And I know you love your wife the same way.
Alright.
You see what I'm saying? So even through that process of already having that love for your mother, and she giving you the energy love, you already kind of teaching yourself how to love a woman.
That's right.
You just apply it. It's like, but we were saying in the beginning, it's like, whatever you go through is how you apply it. Whether you have your dad and mom, whoever you don't.
So tell Eric to speak on the topic. Tell Doc to talk on the topic like ask them did they see it. Attack them in that, Trey. You follow Eric?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know what time, yeah. What time is it?
We got 7 minutes. 7 minutes. I don't even see Kim on here.
That's it, though.
See, yeah, that's the thing, like being able to like kinda like distinguish the two, like who is who, you know what I mean? Mama said that going back to how men can love their women can also just communicate, ask her how she wants to be loved, what makes her feel loved.
Yeah, definitely. Communication on both ends.
Think about that though, coming up where we came from. Who
I was just gonna, boy, that's what I'm saying. Like,
who was teaching us how to communicate like that?
that's my thing. Like, when you say stuff like that, you have to consider. It's like consider the have and the have-nots. People always say, "Well, do what you should do, shouldn't do." Nobody gonna consider this cat, and I can say that from having known friends and partners. Like, everybody the same way is logical to you. everybody don't come up that way. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that grow up and just they ain't never seen that in their life. They ain't just turn that on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, even though he said he never had his daddy, he saw some kind of affection from somewhere that he grabbed that from. Now, he didn't have his daddy. Imagine a child that didn't have no love. Like, it's plenty of kids grow up like they got no kind of love. They just raw like that. You know what I'm saying? That child ain't gonna be able to just turn it on like that. Like, we talking about Mike Tyson. He a prime example. That's just one. You know what I'm saying? There's a million kids in the world grow up like that. So, like, what about them? So they both just know how to turn it on, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like you gotta know what somebody been through, because everybody choices is shaped different. Like I said, it's just like when I be going back to like eating. Like, if you a house cat and I'm an alley cat, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't really tell me how to eat my food. Your food is hot and ready when you come in the house.
Yeah.
I gotta go through scraps with 100 other cats out here just to get what you throw away. Yeah, what you throw away. So everybody's situation is totally different. You have to really consider people upbringing and what they're taught and what they've been around, because it shaped you. All four of us right now, the way we are, it got shaped by everything we grew up around, seeing, and was hands on with 24/7.
Just like with my little homie, man, I be always telling him, all he talk about is, you know, getting with these girls and doing all this and doing all that's his whole conversation. So I be like, man, I say, you ain't got no girlfriend? He be like, what I need one of them for?
They say that.
He's like, man,
Oh, I
he's 10 years
see.
old. He saying, what I need one of them for? I say, so what you do with your time? He said, man, I got, he like Luda, man, he got area codes. Like, he can call him up at will, like, you feel me? So, if that's what his mind, I'm like, bro,
So that's the mentality.
that's his mindset. Like, he saying, what I need a girlfriend for? When we were coming up, you needed a girl, you gotta have a girlfriend, bro. Like, what you talking about? Like,
You wanted a
telling me
girlfriend.
You ain't got no girlfriend.
Just you probably wanted a girlfriend just based off what you were going.
That's right. So
I need somebody
I
I
need
can talk
somebody
to.
to cry on. I need a shoulder to cry
Right.
on. Yeah. But these cats nowadays, like, he ain't studying none of that. I was like, so what? So you ain't got no girlfriend? Like, nah, what I'm gonna do with that? You just gonna mess up what I got going on. He dead serious. Like, man, him in a real life locked in. We talking like. So I said, and it kind of like, you know, how he was telling me his situation at home. I was like, dang, that's crazy. You ain't got anything going on at home.
Yeah.
I guess that's the $1 million question. How many men or women are taking the time to get to know that person before getting in that relationship? So something like this, when you say, the men don't know how to love a woman based on the fact that they never seen a man love their mama. Like, what are those conversations like prior? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about? Or y'all getting to know each other? Y'all just jumping in. Now you realize this man hurt. He in pain. He don't know how to love. He don't know how to treat a woman. But it's too late. You don't caught those feelings.
You jacked up. See, think about this though. I said this to somebody. I don't know if it was me and you, Trey, we were talking about it. But we was talking about it somewhere. And I was saying about, you know, like the take off my jacket so you can walk over a portal. Where that's at? Who doing that?
Yeah, Cool J.
Yeah, who doing that? What that? Let's go to the movie talk.
Yeah.
Hey, what that? Hey, Mom, can I get $10?
Yeah.
Where that's at?
And he was a man.
But you got boys. How often you hear that? Dad, can I get somebody to take my girl?
Talking about like in a song or something?
No, for real.
In general, so like these
You
these
got
kids,
boys.
Right.
I got girls, so I ain't. They were going places. You feel me?
Right.
You ain't going nowhere with my daughter if I don't know who you with,
Yeah.
right? So you got boy, you got a boy coming up.
Yeah.
How often now you got some boy that's older?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you hear, hey, Dad, I need to get, you know, $10, $20 to take my girl to the movie?
From one of my boys?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They going to the studio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, you don't hear. So what that's at? That chivalry. What that love? What that dating? What that courting? What that's at? Ain't none of that. See, so that right there speaks to all of that.
But that go back to what
It's
that go
ways
back to what we
in.
talking
Yeah,
about.
that's different.
Go back to what we were talking about. The music, the influence of the music right now is what these kids is doing. What's on YouTube or what's on TikTok, whatever they seen.
Yeah, but it was dying before that.
LL.
It was dying before.
Yeah, it ain't just happened now.
LL was our era, and the name of the song was "I Need Love." This is a man saying, "I need love."
Yeah.
He said, "I need a woman. I'm trying to find one so I can love one."
Yeah, but it was dying before, you know.
Before now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was already, it was a process that took place. That going to the, you got young cats now saying, man, I ain't taking nobody to the prom. I'm gonna go by myself.
And then like you saying like not saying it's an excuse, but the times have changed. Like he was saying how like you go from LL to now, like you gotta understand these kids live in a world now where, and it's gonna say it's not about gender, but just how you ask a little dude, he was like, man, what I need with a girlfriend? But they live in a generation now where like we a lot of our fathers went there. Mine was, but I'm saying a lot of generations, a lot of people dad went there, and that was then. It's way worse now. A lot of these fathers really ain't there. And then on top of that, the women being brought up now, like their generation, these women like they don't need a man. So like a lot of these kids, they gonna look at it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Every song that come on that's a man hate song, that's the anthem. So these kids nowadays like, man, I'm gonna get some money, cause these girls telling you that they ain't gonna do you right. These girls now, they more bold than men. They telling you, yeah, I'm gonna play you. I don't want nothing from you. Blah blah blah. So a lot of these kids, they just playing the game the same way. Well, I mean, what I want a girlfriend. They in the street, they just look like, you know, they do what they do, get money and keep going. Which is sad, but like, it's almost like you do me, I'm gonna do you wrong. So ain't nobody gonna be the bigger person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody a city girl now. These young girl, they believe in that stuff.
But they also got these clowns out here that's causing them to be, you know, that making it like that. Cause see, back then you had the LLs, you had the Kwame's, you had these cats that were talking about sweet thing. You feel me? What I say?
Yeah, you don't have it no more.
You feel me?
Cause nowadays being telling a girl the truth is they can say that weak.
Yeah, that's
oh man, you're
that's
sucker.
other stuff now.
You know what I mean?
What happened to all that real love?
You gotta bridge that gap. You gotta find where the
Basically,
bridge
what you saying is back then we was building up our women.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were building up our relationship. Like you had to really go through a process.
Yeah.
Even
Big fact.
before you even start touching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all remember writing the note?
Yes or no? You feel me?
I still got mine.
You couldn't say love back then because it was kind of like a taboo situation. You can't say love because your boy gonna be like, boy, you a soul.
You in love?
Yo, you in love. You can't say love, but you have to say,
I
like you. You like me.
Check the box. Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, that's that though.
Yeah, at school you walk to class.
That's dead.
She write on your book, wear your jersey, you know, stuff
Yeah,
like
wear
that.
your jersey on the Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's over.
They go, like you said, go to the movie, stuff like that, skate around with us.
Now you reading at the movie and y'all walking across the street somewhere.
Yeah. And the parents ain't even involved.
Man,
We was in school, and my mom and dad knew, like, I'm talking about, my mama was like, she was a warden, boy. Hey, babe, what's your name? Who your mama knew? Like,
Yeah.
But she had the whole rundown, boy. Before I got her, like, yeah, your mama, but she don't play.
Yeah.
But you gotta know who you're dealing with.
Just like,
You talking about Courtney.
what that was with Will Smith and Martin.
Bad boy.
Bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was on when you bring the boy to my house. You feel me? Like, what's happening? I got that fire sitting on the table. You feel me? What's on your mind? You know what I mean? What you think?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Say you're a virgin. Better keep it that.
Stay that way.
You like, what's buddy at Player Club, her daddy? He taking my daughter to the Mosey. But you know what I mean by the Mosey.
So yeah, you got the thing about the dating though is that all that kind of stuff like that kind of like out. Ain't nobody really rocking with that no more.
But
Ain't nobody, you know. I got a son too, and I be asking like, so son, what you be doing? Like he be like, Pop, man, I'm telling you, you just got to say it now. So ain't no, you say all that macking what y'all used to do, that's dead.
You know what took it away though?
what you think?
That cell phone.
Yep.
It's easy
You
access.
wrote letters. You had to write letters. You ain't had no cell phone. Now we texting, right? They could text. You had it, man. You had to.
No, I want no text.
You had to take your time. And bro said, man, I had to take my time because I ain't had the handwriting, so I had to take my time.
To get to it right.
You had to take that time and write that letter to that girl
Yeah.
and make sure your penmanship was on point. But now I can just pick up my phone
Yeah.
and text.
And you better say what you
And
mean.
say what I was saying.
Once you get this letter, she got to read it. Now you got to face it.
Not to mention, I can send a picture too.
Yep.
Yeah, now you.
Or I can inbox.
Yeah.
I can do all that.
It's
But
simple.
man, we would write letters.
Mhm.
Hey, slide that
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
old girl.
We're
there.
going like on 5 Heartbeat. Do the shot, brother.
Yeah.
Do the shot, brother, man. Hey,
Yeah.
do the shot, brother. Now that's gone.
See, that cell phone, it took away that
It took away the fun of
that
it.
physical interaction. It took away that grind.
And
Like you
learning.
said, you had to work for that female. You really was interacting. Now I can just pull the phone out,
Easy
shoot my
access.
shot, easy access, and send a pic.
Not everybody got everybody phone them. You don't even
Yeah.
need no phone them.
And you ain't got, it's easier nowadays because you don't got to learn the person you chasing. Like, when we was in school, like you was saying, like, you could see a girl, you might like her, like, you could just, like, do it like you do on Facebook, and you couldn't read her whole bio, like, you had to learn this girl.
Gotta figure
So
it
you
out.
might be like, ain't that girl pretty, like, you know, okay, I don't know if I should watch, she might dish me in person, so you gonna write that letter, or give it to a friend or something, but you gonna take the steps to get to
It's
know
a
her.
process.
Yeah, but now it's just, okay, let me inbox her.
Yeah,
It's
now what you
it's
say.
no work
You
involved.
go on the store, a new feed, and see what type of person she is.
Yeah.
You
You
see the whole life.
look at her pictures, see
Right.
what she posting, see who she interacting with, and she gave you a whole game of her. You know,
So you don't have to earn nothing no more. But like we be saying from the beginning, like our whole thing is, when you take out fundamentals, you strip everything.
How you
These
gonna
kids don't
shoot
earn
to the
nothing.
gentleman?
You know what I mean? So they don't gotta earn nothing nowadays. They think it's that easy, but that's why their generation is, you know, it's no respect of it. Like, I don't get it. Respect the women. Their generation is almost like you're a duck. That's how they
you
get.
look, nah, like,
He lame. Yeah. No.
now you got some of these cats
Yeah.
that's I guess you could say they like falling in love and all that. I don't know, but it kind of different.
Way different.
Well, how we
Even they fall in love, it's like it's disrespectful. Though. Like it's some of the stuff they be saying, I be like, bro,
now.
if you say that to my sister, why would go in your
Why
mouth?
don't you jump? Yeah,
But like
so-
to them, that's cool. Like, you know, like we was growing up, like you know, you hold a girl hand, you had to ask her mama, can you take her out? Or she might have an older brother, her daddy, like
Yeah,
you had to be
go through
respectful
the
because
process.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Even but with the boys, like mamas back, we was growing up, mamas they protected their boys.
Yeah, my mama know you.
Yeah, like you would think like, and your mama would kick your girl, like my mama would let you know, like, hey, let me play with my baby, like, but it's a woman, like, nah, it's just like, oh yeah, we going to the movies, they just got a phone, you don't know who they going with, who their people is. I'm telling you, man, I done seen people I went to school with, be like, you such and such, little boy, like, they just be cold, they don't even know what they doing. I'd be like, boy,
Yeah, see, it's different now. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So to go back to the initial conversation, like, how do you love a woman? If, you know what I mean? Like, you really don't know, like,
and it ain't that easy, right?
it ain't. They don't really. All us locked in except Med, so we pretty much know. I know Med know how to do it. So everybody else at the table pretty much locked in. So how do you?
And we still go through our trial and error.
Yeah, but we all
Every day, but we love.
We already,
We love hard.
yeah, we already messed up. We already. What they say, a man ain't got
And you gotta continue to prove that love, man.
every day.
You still gotta.
Like Jenny said,
Don't
like
think
going
it
to
ain't
college, man. You got to every day. The saying was, if you ain't got nothing to live, if you ain't got nothing to die for,
Live
then
for
it ain't
nothing.
worth living. Yeah, so you gotta
Yeah.
have something to die for. So you got them children, you got that woman that you ready to ride for.
And even with, like, you know what I'm saying, with y'all three having it, like, you know what I'm saying, I think about it all the time. I be finding myself listening to that old, I be like, listen to that old R&B, like, I know that person out there, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
See,
I
ain't
ain't got
even
no
no
ready
R&B no more.
That was that church talking about.
Yeah, like, I be riding, pick up my homeboy, be like, you listening to Jagged Edge? Hey, mind your business.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
R&B no more.
I ain't got no
man.
problem with it. Like, I can get in my feelings sometimes. Like,
Man,
that's normal though. Like,
But these R&B cat gang members now. I'm killing with them. I used to be a fan.
Trey Songz?
Yeah, Trey Songz, man. I used to be a
Yeah.
fan of these boys, man. Like, I used to be out there, can you run it? Man, that nigga.
He tried
got guns and all that.
for real.
Like, God, ain't no more Island Brothers. Where they at? All the groups dead.
They hang around rap cats though.
Yeah, all the groups dead.
The R&B dudes, they ain't around rappers.
Yeah, so
It's
ain't-
weird, man. It's
They
just
want
like
to be rappers too.
the
Yeah,
respect.
they rappers
of
now.
They rappers now.
So it's rap. It
But we
ain't
do gotta
rhythm and
get
blues
that.
no more. It's rapping blues. Yeah,
Yeah, cause they be the stuff they be saying, but like, it's just like, I don't know, man.
Amy Reese, what's up?
You gotta bridge the gap. Taisha, what's happening? I think honestly though, man, we gotta teach these, especially boys, how to like respect women though. You know what I mean? Like, not saying like be like, you know, have bad women out there, but they think respecting women is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get flat for it. I be going up post the time. You do be in my inbox. Man, you always big enough women. I be like,
What
nigga,
else I'm gonna do? You gonna
yeah, like, so I be like, so you ain't got no mama or grandma?
Yeah.
Well, that's different. How? That's somebody else's woman.
What brought you here?
Yeah, it's just like, if you don't got no respect for a woman, bro, you really need to check yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, you got someone that's out of pocket, but this is the way you deal with a woman, bro. Like, women can't make me go there like a dude can. And some dudes just, they'll go there. Or they be like, oh, you be always bringing up women to you. Be like, bro, like,
What else
you do know a woman birthed you, right? Like, where's your, I don't get it. But that's what I'm saying, like, they want you to be like, oh, I'm not that type of guy, bro.
Yeah.
My mama ain't play nothing like that. I got a grandma, auntie, 4, 5 sisters,
I be having
5 nieces,
I
like,
be having difficulties with cats, you know, just calling the women, you know, anything like that.
I don't get that.
I be struggling with it. I be hearing people say it and I be like, nah, especially dudes that got daughters. You feel me? Like that kind of be like I be like, dang man. But I guess I be looking at it from a whole different perspective because I don't really curse and all that. So it'd be hard, but I ain't calling no women no hoes. No
I ain't never been a type.
I
I'll put my hands on them, like, I ain't
But
you know what I mean?
just to see people that normalize it.
That's what it is though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just see like it's
That's
just
what
like,
it's becoming.
just like the N word.
It's normal.
It's normalized.
Until it happened to you though, until it happened to somebody, one of your then it's different. It's no
Now you
different.
wanna fight me. And the crazy thing about it, what's up, see? The crazy thing about normalizing it is, you know, girls used to be objected to that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's kinda like, you don't even matter.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
That's when you're in trouble when it become normalized.
That's right. When they ain't even objected
They
to
pick
it,
it up.
you know, like they don't even care if you say it or.
it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you something.
When it's alright for them to call each other bees,
It's crazy.
alright, then you know right then like the water is getting murky, like it's dark, like
Yeah, I still
it's cool. You feel
very
me?
much so.
It did, you know, somebody like us. My daughter got to grow up business.
Yeah, come up behind
You
that.
feel me? In this mess.
So what you do about that?
Man, listen.
You gotta teach it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got them young girls coming up, or you ain't got no
Yes,
young-
I got a little boy.
you got them girls coming up, you gonna have them little cussing boys coming up behind y'all.
Yeah.
And
I teach my son that now. Like, I seen the situation in the
See,
morning.
his daughter got 4 brothers.
You got a girl though.
they got
And
five.
his daughter, 4 brothers.
How many girls you got?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
My baby.
She a baby girl.
So that's what it is.
So that wraps it up, man.
So you ain't had nothing else
Look,
before you got
darling.
quiet, man. I know you had
He
some
put
more talk,
it. He
man.
put it whole spiel in.
We did though.
It's
He
a great.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Tell
Yeah.
Doc and Eric, man, they need to goddamn come back with us.
We gonna post this for those of y'all didn't see it. Y'all view this. Put some comments.
Yeah, it's on everybody's
Like,
page.
comment, share,
Subscribe.
subscribe.
All the
man.
Black Adders, man. Listen,
man.
this free
Free
game.
game.
We
Peace.
out.